The following is a presentation of Project Independence and WCWP. Project Independence is the Aging in Place initiative of the town of North Hempstead.
Welcome to Project Independence and You.
Good morning and welcome to Community Talk Radio. This is Project Independence and You on LIU Public Radio. I'm your host and producer, Kristina Liu, along with my co-host today. We got the whole gang together. We have Otto, Los, and Paula Ewell. Paul and I work together at the town of North Hempstead Services for the Aging, Project Independence, where I'm the Director of Senior Citizen Affairs and Paula is the Deputy Commissioner. And then, of course, Otto needs no introduction. He's longtime volunteer, supporter, and friend with Project Independence. And today we're talking about something that I think many of us can listen to of all ages. It's something that we all kind of put off a lot of times, and it's organizing our financial paperwork from bills to bank statements to important documents. It adds up really fast. Yeah. You know, I think that's something that we could all, absolutely, no matter what, it's somehow the paper just keeps on coming and you're not sure what to do.
Paperless society.
Right, it's true. I keep saying I don't want any more paper, but somehow I keep getting more paper. But this morning, we are joined by the expert in this, Victor Bonett, who is a HUD-certified reverse mortgage counselor, financial and IRS-certified income tax counselor, and senior financial programs at the Family and Children's Association, who's been a longtime partner with Project Independence and something that we refer to quite often. And hopefully, Victor, you can give us some good, concrete, golden nugget, practical tips of how to declutter our financial paper. So welcome to the show, Victor.
Thank you very much. And just to start off, when we talk about decluttering, we are really talking about two things: financial records or paper organization and financial management. Now, folks will stop and think, okay, what's the difference? Okay, you can be organized, but yet not manage your financial records. Let me give you an example. You have everything piled neatly in folders. They are color-coded. Your desk is
Are you in my house?
Your desk is clean. But guess what? You haven't paid a bill.
Yeah.
Someone took money out of your bank account. You did not discover it. Right. So the difference is financial organization means that you take your paperwork, you organize them accordingly into files, perhaps you scan them, and then you would shred them. And financial paper management really deals with the life cycle of the document. It comes in, you review it or make sure it's accurate. You then file it away, and then at the appropriate time, you shred it and discard it. Okay, so so think of it as I have a document and I have to take care of it for the entire life cycle. That's management. Or I just got this document, I have to file it away, but I have to come back and review it. That's organization. So I like to say you can have a neat desk, but there's fraud, you didn't catch it, you didn't manage your financial records. Or you have a desk that's cluttered, but yet your bills are paid. So your management end is good, but your organization is terrible.
Right.
That's a good point. It's like,
how do you bring the two together?
that's what
we're going to learn today.
The management part of it is kind of controlling what goes on here, so you don't get ripped off.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of it nowadays, like we talk paperwork, but the paperwork could be in an electronic form.
Right.
So it becomes, it's a different, I think that would be slightly different when it becomes electronic. That can still become a management problem.
If you don't review it.
Yeah.
And Otto, I've noticed a lot of folks, they get their statements online. They get a notice, hey, your statement's online, and they never go online and look at it.
I was just thinking the same thing.
So things could be going on that you may not catch.
It's interesting you say that because we've had people on here about Medicare fraud. And, a lot of people now get their statement from Medicare online.
Right.
And I know personally I'm somewhat guilty of this. You say, okay, I'll put that over here, this email over here,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you might not get to it.
That's
So
right.
I think a lesson to be learned here is you better get to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of folks also do is that, for instance, I'm a certified IRS tax preparer. We prepare income tax returns for free for seniors, the Family Insurance Association. So what happens, a lot of them come in and I says, okay, let me look at your income statements to prepare your tax return, and they will go into their bag and give me a bundle of, of envelopes that have not been open. Okay. And
If
that's a
anyone's watching the
problem.
video, we're all like, "Oh, we're not pointing any
That's
fingers,
a
looking at anyone."
problem. So as I had a gentleman come in and I said, "Oh wow," I said, you took out like 3 major distributions from your IRA." He said, "No, I didn't. I know how much I take out." I said, "But you have 3 1099s." And what happened is that his financial advisor transferred funds between his IRA account, but internally, I guess in the system, used the wrong code. So they treated it as a distribution.
Oh my God.
Oh, so now he's going to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I said, call them up, send a letter, let them know that you never received the funds and they have to cancel this out and correct it. Cancel means that they also have to send something to the IRS, said this is not a withdrawal, it's a distribution. And he did that. He called up his financial advisor, and a couple of weeks later, he said, "Oh, thank you." I mean, there are other ways we could do it on the tax return. We could treat it as rollover, but the right way was it was never a distribution. It was an internal bookkeeping
Yeah.
error.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That is just like but that just shows you how important, and we were talking off air too, on top of, a lot of us are caregivers, and
Mhm.
a lot of our listeners are in that boat too. And so that's a whole nother can of worms, right? When you're like trying to now manage the financial piece of someone that's not you,
Mhm.
because you don't know where this paper is, you're not exactly sure, it's such, the organizing and management piece, it really gets complex. So
Yeah, I just want to make an editorial comment.
Uh-huh.
I think people have to know that Victor is here and he doesn't sell anything.
That's right.
All right. So this is free advice
Exactly.
and everything that comes through this organization.
you had everyone just fall off their chair.
Well, I think that's
listening.
important because
Yeah.
It
you know,
is. Right.
otherwise
Yeah.
people slant things towards what they sell.
Mhm.
That's a fact of life.
Exactly.
All right. And it could be long-term care insurance.
Mhm.
It could be reverse mortgage.
Exactly.
A lot of things. And
Right.
people are going to slant it in that direction. And that's not what's happening at this particular session.
Absolutely.
So I
Right.
think that's very important.
Yeah, it's important to note that because family children for years have been focusing on families.
Yeah.
And they've started initially with children
Right.
and then families together, but then someone said, "Hey, who's looking at our seniors?" And then that's where this group came into existence within Family and Children. So there are a number of sub departments within the senior program within Family
Yeah.
and Children's Association.
Well, and I'm a senior. I just made it not too long ago, but
Like just today. Actually.
but I know I have also been the executor of several wills of people
Mhm.
who are seniors, and the difficulty that can result if you don't take care of things, like if you keep 20 years worth of your electric bills,
Exactly.
it's not really fun for somebody
Mhm.
to figure out, well, there might be something hidden between these papers that I have to pay attention to.
Right.
So this goes back to the original part about the organization.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Maybe we could sort
Yeah.
of take
Yeah,
it.
so we're going to, so I'd like to talk about that, and I'd like to break it up into certain facets so
Yeah.
people can really focus. Number one, what should I keep in my wallet? What should I keep in a file cabinet? What should I keep in a lockbox or safe at home, fireproof, waterproof? What should I keep in a bank safe deposit? Not everything should go in there.
Mm.
And then shredding and discarding. And then why is it necessary to think this way? And I use an acronym called WISE. Okay, WISE, and we'll get to that. So what should I keep in my wallet? You should keep your driver's license, your car registration. A lot of people keep it in the car, maybe because different drivers drive the car. You can make a copy of your car registration, and you should. Perfectly legal. Don't leave it in the car. Why? Someone steals the car, they have the registration. If they get stopped, oh, here's the registration. Oh, okay, good. Whose name is that? That's not your name. That's my uncle. Okay. Plus, they have your information, your address, etc. Don't keep it in your car. Make copies and let each driver of that automobile have a copy of the registration in their wallet.
What about along with that, the insurance, you get the, whatever that thing is called?
Yeah. You
should-
keep that in your wallet as well.
Not in the car.
Not in the car. I don't keep it in my car.
I have it in my car.
Yeah, right. And I can take
Yeah.
that, drive off, and have proof, or, oh, gee, I left my registration home, but I have my insurance card.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Exactly.
We'll
So
put them both in a wallet. And
Put it
one-
in your
yeah,
wallet.
I actually have like a special little
Yeah.
like holder that holds
A
both of
holder.
them. Yeah.
yeah,
But not
In your wallet.
yeah.
Well, no, I
No,
don't, but
no.
now I'm going to.
In your
Right,
car.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine is in my
Yeah.
car. I'll
Right.
bet you 90% of them. are
Yeah.
in the-
Oh,
Sure.
sure,
Yeah.
certainly, because people don't think of
I
that
didn't even
way.
have to keep it. I just thought like it has
No,
to stay
no.
in your car.
You just
Yeah,
have
but
to be able
Yeah,
to
to have it,
produce
yeah.
it.
Use it. Right.
Like,
But
I
it makes
still
so
have-
much sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
I know. Otto, if you're
Otto's
watching us,
taking
if you're
it down.
watching us on YouTube,
Show and tell.
Otto is getting to business while on air. He's multitasking.
Well, I'm gonna be cleaning this out.
Okay. You also want to keep in your wallet, of course, your credit and debit cards and your health insurance cards. Okay, that is your Medicare, if you have a supplemental plan or whatever other plan you have to take care of the piece that Medicare does not cover, you should have that. Your prescription drug plan, you should have that as well.
So far, we're good.
Okay. And then here's what I do.
I just live.
really-
Okay. I have, you remember the old-fashioned index cards?
Of course.
Okay, I have an index card that I cut into the size of a credit card. And on that, I have an emergency contact. Name,
Mm-hmm.
telephone number, address. Why? A lot of people keep it in their phones.
Yeah.
Something happens to you, no one knows your password. You know, you go shopping, you faint, you fall, you hit your head.
Right.
Who are they going to contact? I just have it in an index card. Hopefully there's a good Samaritan will
Gonna
take
take a
out my
look at it,
wallet
yeah.
and I take out the money, which
Yeah.
there's little love.
Yeah.
And the card is right there,
Right.
right where my credit cards are, front and center, the bold letters, emergency contact.
Mhm.
So
good idea.
that's
But
what
I
I
do
keep
that.
in my
I'm
car.
making a little
Yeah.
homework assignment. Look,
I-
there's so many. Look, we're like in the first couple of minutes, and Victor's giving us so many golden
Right.
nuggets. I mean, my pen is
Yeah.
really.
Now
Don't
here's
like it.
here's something people don't think of. You can get what's called a passport card. That
Yes.
card allows you to go, say, to Mexico and Canada
Mhm.
or any country you go to by land. I keep that, and if someone asks me for proof of ID, I show them that card, not my driver's license. Why? The driver's license has tons of
Your birthday,
information.
Mm.
Yeah.
Date of birth,
Yeah.
your height,
Right.
Mhm.
color of your
Right.
eyes, whether or not you wear glasses. You know,
Right.
that card is a government issued card. It costs you a little bit more when you
Yeah.
renew
Right.
to get both, but I do. And you don't know how many places I go into. They ask for ID and they look at it and I says, is there a problem?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a passport card.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have a driver's license? Why?
Right.
Because people are programmed to ask
Mhm.
for that.
Right.
Mm.
The passport
So would
card
it take the place of a like you say you would get a passport,
and the card.
card.
Right.
but if you're traveling,
It
can you
dep-
just use the card?
only if
If
you're
it's by
entering
land.
by land.
So not
Not
you
by
can't
plane.
fly.
Not
right.
by, right.
Got
So
it.
if you're going to Mexico
Got it.
or Canada, you can
You use
use
that
it.
card. Or
Okay.
ID wherever.
Or
is
ID,
required
if
in the
I'm
United
I've
States.
gone overseas dozens of times,
Yeah.
and I've used that card as ID
Yeah.
instead of my passport.
How do you go about getting a card like that?
When you renew, it gives you an option. I think.
Usually,
Yeah.
I tell folks when you renew, there's an option, or you can apply separately.
So you get both or one?
You get both.
both.
It costs you a little bit more, but you'll get both.
Yeah.
Never heard about
Yeah,
it.
I tried
Yeah.
to, I actually had to do it fairly recently and it said, gave you that option and I thought, well,
Right.
why would I want like
Yeah.
another thing
Right.
to lose or something? Okay. that's
And
good
it's
to know.
acceptable if you go to, say, the Smithsonian,
Yeah.
any government institution.
Okay.
It's really great. You can get a combination of both on your driver's license with New York State.
Yeah.
The
you know,
real ID?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't want that because again, you're giving them too much information.
Yeah.
Yet, you freely, like,
Yeah.
say, "Oh, send me a
Right.
copy of your driver's license."
And you send it.
And you send it,
Mhm.
and you check into a hotel, and
Right.
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
and you don't think anything of it.
Right. And most times they just want to say, okay,
Yeah.
the face
The
matches
face
the
Right,
person.
right.
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 That's it. But
Right.
now you have all this
Does the
information out there.
passport card have a picture on it also?
Yes.
Oh, it does.
Oh, yes, and it looks just like a
Like that.
driver's
Okay.
Yeah.
license. It has other information embedded, which customs, when they put it through their reader,
Yeah.
it'll get your address and everything else, no different than your passport.
Got
I
it.
like the ID card idea. As they know, I carry a thing that
Mhm.
has medical
Medical,
information.
right.
And it has a lot of information. which
Yeah.
I
You're dealing with a
forgot
very
somebody
organized guy.
had.
Exactly.
So if it actually is the form of an ID card, but it's a lot more complicated.
Mhm.
So the idea of if there is an issue and having just a small
Yeah,
card,
I get it.
and the
I'm
other
tot-
part of it is hopefully if you happen to ever lose this thing, somebody who was honest finds it.
Right.
They can get it back.
Well, guys, but we take a break. After the break, we will continue talking with Victor Bonett, who is with Senior Financial Programs at Family and Children's Association, all about financial decluttering. You're listening to Project Independence and You on LIU Public Radio.
WCWP is your home for great music and great conversation. You'll find all that and more on WCWP.org. Listen live on the web, check out the lineup, subscribe to podcasts, and stay up to date on the latest station events. Get in touch with us and let us know if you like what you're hearing. And find out how you can support or get involved at the only community public radio station serving Nassau's North Shore. Plus, sign up to get a free bumper sticker. It's all online at WCWP.org.
Welcome back to Project Independence and You on LIU Public Radio. I'm your host, Kristina Liu, along with my co-hosts, Otto Los and Paula Ewell. And we're diving right back in with Victor Bonett, who is with the Senior Financial Programs Division over at Family and Children's Association. And we're talking about all things financial decluttering, organization, management. We already got through just one of our little bullets on this page because that was such great information. You should have heard us in the break, all of us. So let's get to the second bullet of organization, Victor.
Let's talk about what should I keep in a file cabinet. Okay, and there are a number of things you can keep there. One would be, that annual Social Security letter that you get that says this is your new benefit. I would file that in a safe place. Later on, I'll talk about how long to keep certain documents, okay? Also, what I would keep in there are insurance policies related to your home, your car, and if you have long-term care, and also life insurance policies related to health. So if you have a policy with AARP, and they'll send you a whole bunch of documents. Keep that in a file in a safe place. Also, home improvement receipt,
Big.
okay, for large purchases plus your warranties. You want to keep particularly those home improvement items that add value to the house for tax purposes, because I deal with folks, they live in the house 30, 40 years. They're getting ready to sell the house. The house is now worth $700,000. They paid $125,000. And I says, okay, but what improvements did you do? Oh, I added a second floor. I did the bathroom, a new kitchen. Great. How much did it cost you?
Right.
Oh, that was so long ago. I said, but we need that
Yeah.
because it helps to lower your taxable profit. You add those things and they all become part of the cost basis that you have in your house. So keep those things in file. I would keep in a file your bank, credit card, and brokerage statements after reviewing them for 1 year. Also in a file would be your tax documents for the current year. So most folks are doing their 2025 income tax return. You will keep that in a separate envelope in a folder until you take it to your accountant or whomever to get your taxes down. For tax returns already done,
Yeah.
you should keep
Yep.
them, okay, I say 5 years. 5 years.
Okay.
So that means if you have tax returns older than, say, 2020, shred them. Okay, shred them. You should also keep, after the sale of a house, okay, 3 years worth, okay, keep that information for 3 years. Because after you compute your capital gains, etc., the IRS usually has 3 to 4 years to audit that tax return that you submitted. Keep a list of names of doctors, attorneys, and financial advisors, their names and contact information. If you have pets, pet ownership, and other information related to your pets. And also what I call your Medicaid and social services entitlements. Again, that may be healthcare documents, or if you're on Medicaid, your letter saying you qualified, or an approval letter. Keep those because there's some programs that say, hey, you qualified for this service if you send us a copy of your approval letter.
Right.
For instance, HEAP,
Yeah.
Right.
okay, the energy program that helps you pay your gas bill or your oil bill if your income is at a certain level. If you have a simple letter saying that you qualified for, say, SNAP
Right.
or Medicaid,
Would be
anything like that, you send it in,
Right.
it would be automatic. And
Right.
once you get that approval, you could send it in to PSE&G and get a discount on your utility bills as well.
Victor, what about letters, the explanation of benefits, the Medicare that
The
you get
EOBs.
you get
Like a million,
like,
right?
Get them in a paper form.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of
Yeah.
papers
If
now.
you get them in a paper form, you get them, review them.
Yeah.
Why is review so
Well, yeah, that
important?
makes-
Because most people get them and say, oh, I'll look at it, and they set it aside.
Right.
Next month comes, I'll look at it,
Yeah.
and before you know,
They
guess
add
what? You
fast,
have clutter.
Yeah.
And
You have
unfortunately,
clutter.
for like say one doctor's visit, there's like 6 pieces of paper.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Because
thick.
it's got all the,
Yeah.
it's literally the information
Yeah.
is right here, page 1, and then it's all the other papers. So if you've
Yeah.
recently been in a hospital or
Yeah,
healthcare
right. There's like a
situation,
million
you're just
of 'em.
getting them.
But then
And-
what happens though is you
Yeah.
get encouraged to
Not do them.
eliminate
Yeah,
paperwork
yeah.
and file electronically, which
Right.
I
Yeah.
do. And like we said earlier, you know, okay, now you get the email that tells you that your explanation of benefits
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now what?
but we still have people not really doing email. I
Yeah.
mean, there's still
Right.
quite a few people
That are getting the hard-
don't
yeah.
do that.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
folks who get it because they want to sit down and
Yeah,
talk
have
to
to-
each
yeah,
doctor.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I've changed.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of changing to
Mhm.
getting it back. So I
Yeah.
get a
The paper?
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Because if it's online, it's easy to be lazy, but there's certain documents
when you have
you
to.
should review.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the key is when did you go to the doctor and when did they submit the bill?
Right,
The two don't always line up.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. I've seen,
yeah,
I go for an annual, say in November,
yeah.
and the charge shows up in the February
Right, right.
EOB.
Yeah,
Okay. And so it's important that you kind of be aware of when did I go to the doctor, but any charge showing, you should look.
Right.
Because someone could have gotten hold of your
Right.
number and
Yeah, of
gone
course.
to a doctor upstate New
Well, you
York.
might not even know the doctor's name. I mean,
Name.
a lot of
times, right,
you're
you
like,
have it,
who is
right.
this doctor? I
Yeah.
never saw that.
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
But then you realize it's in whatever
Mhm.
practice, but
Well, we
you have to
had
investigate.
examples here from where somebody may put in for a wheelchair or whatever,
Mhm.
Right.
and it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you finally
When you
do
need
need
it.
a
You need a wheelchair,
yourself,
right.
they'll tell you,
Exactly.
oh, you already
You
got one.
received
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really want to review those. And that's
Yeah.
part of
But you then
financial
save them?
management.
Do you like save those copies?
Yes, you save them for, believe it or not, I save mine for 1 year.
Okay.
1 year.
Because by that time,
You
things
should
will
have it.
catch up.
Right.
Right.
Okay? As soon as the new year starts,
Get rid of it.
the first one you get, you make certain there's nothing on it from the prior year, and then
Okay.
Mhm.
shred everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
shred it, get rid of it.
With
Most
Project Independence, you can get free shredding.
That's right. You go to a stop program at the
Okay.
town of North Hempstead. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And many times the towns
Yeah, that's.
will
Yeah.
send out information
Yeah.
saying, we're doing
But it's-
bulk
Yeah.
shredding.
Yeah.
You can bring up to 4 bags.
Mhm.
Right.
Please shred it. If it has your social security number on it, if it has your address, if it has pertinent your date of birth, shred them.
Mhm.
Sometimes folks will get what they call, they sell these, it looks like a stamp file.
Yeah.
And you basically run it across
Right,
the paper
right.
and it creates little X's and
Yeah,
O's
yeah.
and so it distorts so
Yeah.
you can't read the information. I am a firm believer in shredding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tax documents,
Yeah, and that's just an
shred
extra
them.
step you have to do.
Yeah.
Just to,
Yeah.
on every piece
Mhm.
of paper.
Yeah, the shredding
Yeah.
is another
Yeah.
topic, by the way, like I have a shredder at home, which I no longer use because
Because it always breaks
you
down if
wind
you
up
try.
with- you wind up with so much
Me,
paper to shred
Exactly.
that I use Project Independence
Yeah.
down in North
Mhm.
Hampstead.
Mhm.
Which is like other big, like Staples does it, right? Like
Mhm.
you can
They
go to like a,
charge.
They
yeah.
charge you.
They charge by what, like the
Yeah.
weight?
I think it's like $10 for whatever you bring in.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
But I
Worth
throw
it.
everything into a shredding box that
Yeah.
looks like it might have any
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, and then he's
yeah.
ready to go when he wants to shred.
Right.
And you save up your money. Now shredders are very inexpensive.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
need a huge one.
Yeah.
But if you do it consistently,
Yeah.
it pays for itself.
Yeah.
And then we talked about, waterproof safe
Mhm.
or lockbox.
Mhm.
First of all, not only should you have a key, but a trusted person should have a key. Why is this important? Superstorm Sandy.
Mhm.
Lots of folks lost a ton of documents. They had it perhaps in their files, certain documents you keep in a lockbox. What are those? Power of attorneys. Okay. Your degrees. Folks are proud that they went to a particular school, they have a degree. Your social security card. That card you got probably many years ago when you first signed up that no one really asked you for. Okay. Will and trust documents. Your passport, safe or lockbox. Your car titles. Okay. If you have you bought a plot and they issued you a deed for a cemetery and burial information, we don't like to talk about it. We'll lock it up in a lockbox. Okay. Deeds, your deed to the house. Some folks bought the house in their 30s. Now they're 65. They qualify for certain senior exemptions on the homes, both particularly for Nassau County. The first question, they attach a copy of your latest deed. Oh, many times people can't find it.
Say, then what happens when they can't find
You have
it?
to go to the county clerk's office, which is at 240 Old Country Road,
Which I
down in
think
the
you can
basement.
file something or other ahead of time with them.
Have it ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's a slight fee.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Yeah.
a $10 fee. Okay.
Okay.
And also not health insurance, but your life insurance policies. Okay. Because they're going to run over time. So you want to keep that. Anything happens to you, people should know what the benefit is, who to contact, etc. How about this? A book, and keep it up to date, of your online passwords
Oh my God.
for your banks, credit card, okay? Amazon.
There's a list. I got like
Okay.
7 or 8 pages worth.
Yeah, yeah. But keep them
Yeah, keep
in
up
a
to date, yep.
lockbox, but don't just put them and forget about them. If you
Yeah.
change it,
Yeah.
update it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
you're hitting
update
right
it.
on a schnozola here. I had all the items you mentioned. Remember not long ago, there were all kinds of forest fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah.
And that
Uh-huh.
made me think,
Yeah.
you know, a couple of years
Mhm.
ago, I'm saying, how do those people reconstruct their
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, if they don't have these
Right.
things.
These pertinent documents.
So I wound up, for better or for worse, I have no idea if it works, but I bought a go-to safe
Yeah,
bag.
that's what I have, yeah.
Fireproof, waterproof.
Exactly.
So that if we ever had
you
to
just
get
go.
out of the house,
Mhm.
that and my computer, my laptop would be the 2 things I would take.
Okay.
And,
Mhm.
you know, and because I thought about what you were talking
Yeah.
about. I mean, how do you recover? You
Right.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what we
tough.
did too, and we have that fireproof
I
bag.
mean, I
and
have
a
no
safe-
idea if it really
Right.
works, the bag.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's just something to go.
It's
But
just
I
peace of mind.
yeah,
You don't-
Right.
and it also
Unless
keeps
you have to worry
everything
about-
together too. That you can just
Yeah,
you
you
know
just go. Yeah.
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 Go-to bag.
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. Your medical directives, all these should be, do not keep these items I mentioned in a bank safe deposit. Why? Many times the bank will only give access to the person
Right.
that took out the lockbox or the safe deposit, not lockbox, safe deposit box. So if something happens to you, oh, it may take months,
Such a
you
good
know, to
point.
get through the red tape
Yeah.
to access important documents. What should you keep? Jewelry. Okay? If you want to keep monies that you earn legitimately,
Right.
keep that. You keep that in a safe deposit box. But these items, trust documents, medical directives,
Yeah, that makes
health
so much sense.
proxies, you keep those in a waterproof lockbox, whatever it is, it has to be waterproof and fireproof.
Do banks still have safe deposit boxes? Like I don't hear much about it. To be
Yeah,
honest
they
with you.
still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have it. Now, another thing I didn't mention is also important when you travel, take a copy of your passport, the page with your picture and all your information, and when you get to the hotel, keep it in a separate place other than where your passport is. Why? If you ever lose it in another country, you go to an American embassy with that copy. It's a lot easier and quicker to get a new one reissued.
Right.
Okay, or to cut through the red tape, because they'll have the number, the information, they'll have everything. So whenever I travel, I always make a copy of my passport. When I come home, I shred it until I travel again.
I take a
Okay.
picture of my bag also, frankly.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
has come in handy
makes sense.
actually,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
where the bag was lost, and I could show them, you know, what the safe looked like.
Well, I'm way
No,
behind
not
you.
the safe.
Right.
Paul is fully in a panic now.
I'm
Okay.
lucky I get the bag
Mhm.
packed.
Yeah.
Now we'd like to talk, unless you're going on the break,
No,
or we
can
can start about what we're going to shred or discard.
Yes.
Okay, so all your utility bills, they come in, you review them, you put them in a file. That's the organization part. You reviewed them, make certain they're right. That's the management part. Next month, when the new one comes in, get rid of last month's bill. Only have the current month's utility bill in your file. So PSE&G, National Grid, your phone, if your cable bill is separate, your water authority, if your cell phone bill is separate, all of those bills just keep for 1 month. You get the new one, you compare them, then you shred them, after you review them. You should also shred any document that's outdated. You know, when your passports expire, you send it in,
Yeah.
but they send you back the old one.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll punch holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as you review the new one, it looks great, shred that old one. Okay? You updated your will.
Mm-hmm.
Shred the old will. Only the current will should be in your lockbox. Same thing with your power of attorney. Same thing with your healthcare proxy. Credit cards. It expired, they send you a new one. How many people still have expired old credit cards? Get rid of them.
I definitely
No,
probably
I
have
cut right up.
Well,
You keep the old one.
Yeah.
You use the new one. There's no issue, no
Right.
hiccups. Get rid of that old one.
I was
Hold that
telling-
thought, everyone, because after the break, we will continue talking with Victor Bonett, who is with Senior Financial Programs at Family and Children's Association, talking all things financial decluttering. You're listening to Project Independence and You on LIU Public Radio.
So I get this call from my grandma, and she's like,
What's a podcast and how much does it cost?
so I tell her, podcasts are like radio shows, but you can download them on any device and listen to them anywhere at any time, and they're free. And then she says,
I see, but where can you find good ones?
and I'm like, go to wcwp.org/podcast and check out the lineup of original shows, or download any podcast app on your phone or tablet and search for LIU Studios. And she's all like,
Oh, that sounds easy.
and then she asked me what an app is.
LIU Studios podcasts, available on any podcast app. You know, those little button things on your phone screen. Just ask your grandkids.
Welcome back to Project Independence and You on LIU Public Radio. I'm your host, Kristina Liu, along with my co-hosts, Otto Los and Paula Ewell. And we're jumping right back in with Victor Bonett from the Senior Financial Program Division over at Family and Children's Association, giving us so much wonderful information about financial decluttering. I mean, I'm like just frantically grabbing blank pages of paper to write everything you're doing, because I'm going to go home and tell my entire family all this information, Victor. So thank you so much for everything we went over so far. And before the break, we were talking about shredding and discarding, which is something that we all are trying to figure out, like what to shred, what not to. So let's get back into it.
Excellent. The thing too, we were also discussing, a lot of folks, the information is digitized. It's online. Okay, so you don't have to worry about shredding. My concern is it makes you lazy because you don't review the statement. You should review that statement, whether it's a phone utility or a bank statement, any type of statement that you're receiving online, you should review it. You know, your Macy's statement, because mistakes happen and people don't understand that. And you don't want it to continue for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're trying to fix it, and then you're fighting to get past due monies, et cetera, et cetera. So the key is really reviewing the information, regardless of how you get it. From my perspective, I think I'm pretty technology savvy, but I like to have a physical piece of paper. If it's online, I'll print it, I'll look at it, I'll check it, whatever. Because if it's online and you're looking at your computer, you'll rush. You don't have the patience anymore to sit there and look at
I
it.
got too many other emails.
Exactly. You know, or you'll get
So
distracted.
true. It's very true.
Okay, so print it out, look at it, look at the items that are hitting, and then get rid of it. Many times people open a checking account, and the bank would give you blank checks, and perhaps that account is closed, but you still have the blank checks. Shred them. Get rid of them. Okay? Old medical insurance cards. Shred them. The only thing I love that's online now are physical checks. Because before, people would have boxes of checks that you'd have to shred. If you're still getting physical checks, I don't think even the banks did away with it. It was too costly. But if you still have old ones, or if you have, the little book that you write the check number and the date and how much, Yeah. Once that check has cleared, once you have again reviewed your bank statement, maybe I would keep it for 1 year, because if you don't get letters for, say, charitable contributions,
Right.
you can reconstruct it if you itemize in your tax return. But after that, get rid of it. Okay? So shred any outdated document. Okay? The only items I would keep for a year, as I said before, your EOBs, doctor and hospital bills. Okay, review them all for accuracy before paying. Okay, but everything else I would shred. Okay.
One of the things I'm a big one on is setting up alerts, like we talked about reviewing your statement, your checking
Yes.
account and whatnot. Just the idea that you can set up alerts. Frankly, my credit card got ripped off a couple of years back.
Mhm.
And, again, I didn't get a paper statement, electronic statement. I didn't pay attention that there were a couple of stupid charges on there
Right.
that I had nothing to do with. So by setting up alerts, you
Mhm.
eliminate that as an issue, because instantly you're going to be told
Yeah.
somebody charged
Right.
Yeah.
$2 on your
Mhm.
card, and the card wasn't present. So I encourage anybody who'll listen to set up alerts.
I
Really.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Not only on that, if you have a checking account that you use,
Yeah.
you could set up alerts that you get alerted for a certain amount
Yeah.
Right.
that may get withdrawn. So I've set a certain limit on my checking account, and it alerts me.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the alert because, so I said, oh, okay, I know about this. It's an automatic debit,
Right.
but it was above the
normal.
amount.
Yes, right.
So it alerted me. Or sometimes it'll alert me and say, oh, you have 2 debits that are the same.
Right.
Well, I know it's, healthcare premiums for my wife and I. But alerts are very, very important
Yeah.
to
And
set up.
the other one, frankly, is this third party. You have to have your cell phone a code sent to your cell phone.
Right.
Those two things make it much more difficult for somebody to rip off your checking account or your credit card. To me, they're like basics.
Yeah, it's called two-step
There you go.
verification.
That we were trying
Yeah.
to figure out.
Two-step verification.
Right.
I have that on my Amazon account.
Yes.
Okay, you log in with the password, but then it will send a code to your phone or your email, however you set it up. Okay, and you don't share that, because sometimes someone may have hijacked your password. They know the code is coming, and they'll call and say,
Yeah.
hello, this is George from Amazon. We think there's an issue with your account. Someone's trying to hack into it. I just sent a code to your phone. Could you please tell me what it is?
You gave me another good one,
Okay.
because I do not have two-step verification
yes.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that I do online that you're going to use consistently, you can set up two-step.
Yeah.
Okay. And basically send a code to it.
Because
And
every time you use it, every time you're going to go onto Amazon and use it, you're going to have to get the code.
unless there's a little box that says, recognize this
This-
device,
yeah.
Oh,
not
got it,
send
got
it.
it, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot
Yeah.
of verification.
Right.
You're like, wait, hold on, every time.
Yeah.
A lot of information.
Now, the interesting thing is also listen to what the person is saying. That's how we get scammed. Because if I tell you I'm George from Amazon, I send you a code, tell me what it is, your retort should be, well, George, since you sent it to me, you tell me what it is.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
if you hear, know it's a scam.
Well, and better yet, don't talk to anybody
Yeah.
from Amazon.
Hang up.
because
Yeah. Say,
Don't call you.
They're
okay.
not going to call you.
No,
Right.
yeah, and if you're concerned, never talk to the person, hang up,
Right.
get an independent number, and call back.
Right, right.
Okay, that's very, very important. Now, the things you want to dump out right away, which we're all guilty of not doing, flyers advertising something, pamphlets that come in with our bills, offerings for subscriptions, credit cards, etc. You know why? We are curious as human beings.
Yeah.
And so we'll look at something, it's an offering for a book. Oh, how to make cleaners out of household products. It will save you a ton, right? And we put it aside. And another one, but we never
We're
we're
gonna
not
do it.
interested.
I haven't made that cleaner yet, Victor.
Right. The minute it comes in, rip it up and throw it away.
Exactly. I don't even open the envelope.
Don't
Oh, I don't
open
either.
it.
Yeah, close it. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I subscribe to Consumers Reports.
Yeah.
So
And they'll send me something about a raffle.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't gamble. I rip it up and throw it away. How about this? You won.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, that's
Big bold letters.
Oh, you have to open it then.
Don't open it.
No.
You didn't win a thing. Okay? Because when you read it, it
Right.
says, we've issued a winning number and you may have one.
Right. Right.
you may-
Okay?
You got a
Right.
free
Okay?
drip set.
Exactly. Okay? Or something with a free offering. If
Yeah.
you subscribe, you'll get these 10 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A gym bag,
Yeah. A trunk
deodorant,
organizer. That's
deodorant,
AARP. They
trunk,
want to give you trunk
and you get all
organizers.
this stuff. Well, you're not going to the gym.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Right.
You have 10 gym bags.
I just
Rip it up.
Right.
I got an email yesterday. It says, we put $279 in your account.
Right.
It was from a vitamin company.
Mhm.
I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, they're just so generous.
If I need
Wow.
$279 to buy
Vitamins.
vitamins from you,
Right.
Right.
we
right,
got a problem.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You know which gets to me? Like and I think probably a lot of people, the charity
Yeah.
letters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Right.
the labels
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the notepads
And the
and
calendars.
and the calendars.
Well, I put you on
I'm
the
like
dumpster.
drowning
Mhm.
in them,
Mhm.
and those are hard to throw out.
I know.
But
Mhm.
you know,
Or with 1 penny,
and some of them
tape
are
inside.
legitimate
Yeah.
charities, which
Yeah,
gets,
yeah.
you can.
it gets annoying after a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, like I get a lot.
I
of
get a
them.
lot too. I
Yeah.
get a lot.
I
too.
get a lot.
They
of
know
them.
they pegged
Yeah,
us,
like
Paula.
you do if you like
They said
give
send it to
one.
these social
If you
workers.
give once, they'll
You're
get
like,
it.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Get
And
it.
then when you get it, you go, oh my goodness, this is
But they
a
all have
charity.
your address on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The-
so that's
Yeah.
the thing. So I'm not gonna if I
Mhm.
try to shred all those. So just rip those up and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
that's
the
a lot of
calendar,
mail.
the notebook, they usually
No,
don't have
no.
anything on
Yeah.
it. Just
No,
rip it up
no.
and dump it.
Yeah.
And then they'll put you on a guilt trip. They'll give you an envelope with like nickels and
Yeah.
everything
Well, that's what I'm
attached
saying. Yeah.
for the postage.
Right.
I take the nipples, I
Right.
keep them, and I rip it up. Okay.
Right.
Because if
Make
you're
money.
yeah, because if you're
You
gonna
can't throw
give,
away money.
if you're gonna give, you're gonna give.
Right. Yeah.
I put
No.
the pennies and nickels
Right.
in a jar or
Right.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think we
those
have
make
to
me
develop
crazy.
a certain callousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the charities you're going to
Yeah.
support.
Right.
Okay. And even those that you support on a regular basis, they still will send you information
Yeah.
asking for
A
more.
lot. And you just get it a lot.
Yeah.
It could be almost like every month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
From the same
Yeah,
organization.
absolutely.
Like,
Every
yeah.
day.
No, from the
Yeah.
same
One
organization.
particular one, which
Yeah.
you mentioned once
Yeah.
before. I'm
Yeah.
not going to bring the name
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're
Yeah.
Almost every
Yeah.
day, a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
rip
Yeah.
it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
And you just have to develop that
Yeah.
mind of steel
Yeah.
that when I give, it'll be appropriate. It'll be
Right.
what I can afford.
Right.
Anything else,
Right.
I'm not ready as yet.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that you do all of this. You want to think of the acronym WISE.
Oh, yeah.
WISE. Why do I shred? Why do I review? What's so important? Well, you don't want to have in your possession wrong information. You don't want to have 5 wills, then something happens and people have to sort through, well, which is the latest one? So that's the W. Identity theft. The more things you have laying around the house in terms of paperwork, if someone unfortunately breaks in, more items they have to look through to get information concerning you. Okay, the more items you will lose with pertinent information, so that you want to prevent or minimize as best as you can identity theft. Then the S, space. You want to free up space. Some people have file cabinets But now the file cabinets, they can't put anything in because
They got to buy more file cabinets.
Okay, you only need one file cabinet
Right.
if you do it right.
Yes.
My utility bills for a month,
Yeah.
my EOBs,
We
bank
might need
statements,
a refresher in a
whatever,
couple months.
for
I'm
a
gonna make
year.
him submit a
Right.
newsletter
A
article. I
year.
think.
Yeah.
Okay, and the lockbox for my insurance policies, etc. And the
Mhm.
E for estate. Something happens to me, then whoever's going to handle my estate, they have access to updated, pertinent information,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they don't have
Yeah.
to sort through
And it's
Yeah.
an
all sorts of
ongoing
stuff.
process.
It's an ongoing. It never stops.
Exactly.
Okay. Always remember, you don't do it once, it will. But the minute you do it, once you get it
Yeah.
under control, it becomes so easy.
But and that's such a good book because it's so much more manageable, when
Mhm.
you're doing little by little, right? Because I remember like with my grandpa, he had just like endless paper and we would sit there and it was like, I really had to talk to him about like getting rid of certain things. I was like, you don't need, but it was so much. So it becomes overwhelming for that person, but if you're doing like a little at a time, it comes
Yeah.
in, it's all right. It's just like your system,
I mentioned earlier, that I was
Mhm.
executor and no exaggeration,
Mhm.
20 years worth of electric bills were
Yeah.
just part of what was there that I had to go through
You had to go through them. That's
because
the
there could be
problem.
stuff stuck in between.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
right.
this way you get. Now we have a group. If anyone feels overwhelmed at Family and Children, we have a financial management group. Okay, it's headed up by Sheila Jasper. She's the coordinator, and she has an assistant coordinator, Marguerite. And I'll give you their numbers, 516-485-3425, and Sheila's extension is 2330, and Marguerita's 2326. And I'll explain who's eligible, if I may.
Mhm.
If you're a Nassau County resident and you're a senior, 60 years or older, you're eligible. Or if you're disabled, there's no age requirement there. Okay. You must be cognizant.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they will come in, they will help you organize your files. They even come in with little folders and everything else. They will come in and review with you your bank statement, ensure that you write the checks and everything else to ensure your bills are paid timely. And they also review the statement for fraud. And they go beyond that. They might look at your school property tax and say, gee, at your income, you should have not only enhanced STAR, but the senior exemption. Let me call Victor and he will speak with you. And that's what I hope seniors do, put together the application so that they qualify and it doesn't get rejected. And they will work within other groups. They have reviewed bank statements and they said to the person, oh, you told me you didn't have cable. I don't, but there's a cable charge. And what happened? A grandson who had access to the client's information
Right.
used their information to pay his cable bill.
Victor, this is where it's very important again for people who are listening to understand this is free.
It's
Nobody's
free.
Yeah,
selling
it's
anything.
incredible, right?
And it's
Amazing.
a major trust factor.
Mhm.
All right. You can trust
Yeah.
the
Right.
people you're
We're
dealing with.
not selling anything, but
Yeah.
based on income, there might be a charge, but the most it would be is $25 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of it is free. We have volunteers, vetted, background checked by us. They come in once a month and they sit down with the clients and they do all of these things. They organize and help them manage their finances. These volunteers are fantastic. You don't know
Amazing.
how many people we have recovered. I think our largest recovery was maybe $30,000 in
Wow.
abandoned property
Wow.
that a client had because they were getting checks and they got lost or
Right.
put away. So they'll even go to the abandoned property website and help
Yeah.
them put through the paperwork
So
to
incredible.
recoup monies.
Well, Victor, we could talk to you all day long because you helped us and our listeners so much. I would like to thank Victor Bonett for so much wonderful information. I'd like to thank everyone who listened. You're listening to Project Independence and You on LIU Public Radio.